Good evening and welcome on this most beautiful waning moon night. I am your host, Aramana Sul. This is a black tower, or as close physically, I guess, you could get to it, I suppose, I reckon, but all shit aside. Okay, so, tonight I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some corrected forms of symbols in the Simon Necronomicon. Get your handy dandy do-it-yourself spell book. You can do it. I got faith in you. Okay, more importantly, you better have some faith in yourself. But anywho, on some really cool shit here. Okay, so I decided that I'm going to use my well-worn, well-bent, written-in, marked, and folded copy. Now I'm going to share with you a few things that I've discovered. Now, first off, I'd like to do a shout-out to Priest of the Necro. Oh, dude. You are an insane genius. Getting me started. Oh, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. And I would like to say hello to Baron Inzu Abula Akazaj and to my good buddy Kareem and also to Frank Hutter. Love you guys. You all are my brothers. And, without your inspiration, and let me tell you, inspiration, you guys are full inspiration. I am honored to be your brother and your friend. That being said, without all the fanfares and the hails and all that other good stuff, so let's go into what we're going to do tonight. Now, so far I've been introducing you to, these lovely covenants. Oh, they're so boring. Why we got to do a covenant? Well, because sometimes, you just got to do a covenant. You got to make an agreement with these things, and this is how you do it. I don't care if you use my words or if you create your own. Do your own. But at least try to get it to follow suit with the way it's somewhat worded in the Necronomicon by Simon. Okay, that having been said and done, let us get to the meat and potatoes, as I like to call it. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to go over a few corrections on gates and so forth and so on, and seals of the gates. As soon as I can figure out where I bent pages. Okay, so on page 31 of the Simon Necronomicon, you will see the god of Jupiter, the lord of magicians, Marduk Curios, of the double-headed axe. And you're going to see his seal. It's like such, but you know what you're not going to see in the seal? You're not going to see this cute little star that I drew in with my very own pen. Cost the whole 88 cents at the dollar store. It was beautiful. But anyway, you're going to want to put it in a star there in that. And the reason why is because, as Priest of Necro has pointed out so many times, the bandar cannot be by itself. It's the thing that's above this finger right here. That right there, that symbol cannot be by itself. And so you're going to want to amend it by placing a star. Well, I think this is very interesting. In Simon's book, he actually left blank spaces in some of these seals, as if he was like, I'm waiting on the smart ones to figure it out, and then we're going to go on. So that was page 31, okay? There's only one blank spot in that whole thing, which is fine, because we don't want to have a bunch of headaches anyway. Okay, so we're going to want to put a star in there. Now we're going to come to page 44. Now on page 44, this sixth gate of Lord Marduk, once again, guess what it's missing? There's a blank spot on the top of the row. You'll see it. You can see where I've placed a star on the top row. I hate doing this like this. But there's your bandar, all by its little lonesome. And up here, there was a blank spot. Put your star up there. Now on the very next page, on page 45, seventh gate in the nib called a dar. You will notice that there is a blank spot on the top on both sides of the star. Feel free to place your bandar and your aga, one on each side, so as to balance the forces. Now on page 44, the previous one of Marduk. If you wanted to, there's a slight space beneath the bandar. If you wanted to put an aga in there, you could do that. I find it works with or without it, but with the bandar, you have to have the aura. And this Priest of the Necro likes to tell me so much. I love that dude. Didn't know his shit, and he knows the shit better than most people I know. Okay. Now, let us get on to something else. Let us get on to the Watcher. We're going to talk about the Agamasaratu, the bowl of the Watcher. Puppy's food bowl. You know what I'm talking about. Now, what symbols go on the bowl of the Watcher? Okay, so it don't matter what kind of stone bowl you got, but you're going to want to put the R, the Aga, and the Bandar from page 69. I know y'all love that number. I do too. It's a good number. Makes you happy. Makes you think man and woman is one, sun and Venus is one. Holy crap, that reminds me of Ishtar and Shamash. Do the math on that one. But anywho, these are the three symbols on page 69 that you're going to want to put. It doesn't matter if you do them upward or across. It doesn't really matter. Now then, all I've got to do is find you the other symbol that goes also on the bowl at the exact same time. If I can ever find it. Thank goodness I actually folded pages so it would be easier for me to find. Or so my thought. I'm not the brightest cookie in the jar, but I tell you what, I do until one gets there. Wife is shaking her head no. Her vote does not count. So on page 211, you will see a bunch of those symbols right there. And if you got a big enough bowl, what you can do is you can write the full script around the edge of the bowl. One line, one line, one line, one line until you have it up, okay? Alright. Now then, let's go to the sword of the Watcher. Because I'm hoping you got you a sword of the Watcher. Doesn't really matter what kind of sword. Don't care if it's wood, metal, whatever. Works better if it's metal, but it'll work if it's wood. Intent is 9/10 the law in magic. It is just about everything. Now, on the sword of the Watcher, what have you got to have on there? Well, you definitely need the Bandar, because it's got to definitely represent the Watcher, and if it has the Bandar, that means it has to have the aura. Well, you might as well go ahead and put the Aga on there, because the Aga represents Enki, the master magicians, who you are actually mimicking. So, when you put the aura, the Aga, and the Bandar on one side of your handle, or on your blade, or however you wish to do it, you're also going to want to turn to page 183, where you are going to see those symbols. Those symbols right there need to be carved, painted, molded, etched, however you can, whatever your skill set is. And the reason why is because you want to connect most sincerely, most deeply with the Watcher. Now, a while ago I was flipping through here and I realized I missed one of the seals or whatever that I had to tell you about and the correction of it. So give me just a minute here. Not that one. Seal of the North Gate on page 115. You'll notice once again, a little Bandar up there on the top right up there, the crescent moon. Straight across on the other side, you put your star there. You can put the star in the middle column, which seems so empty and all alone. Up to you. Let your own intuition guide you on that. Now, for the fun of it, and for the thing that I love the fucking most, let us get to the mandals. Let us get to the tablets of destiny, or at least that's what I've come to refer to them as, or think of them as. Which, if you know anything about the lore, read up on it. Tablets of destiny, and they hung unbidden around the neck of Tiamat, taken from Tiamat, given to whoever, whatever, and then it passed to Marduk, and so forth on. Well, at any rate, it doesn't really matter about all that, and in one of the callings later on with some of the workings that you've got to do, they refer to them as the plates of calling. And one hangs on the right side, one hangs on the left side, around your neck, unbidden. Another reason why I believe they are tablets of destiny. Because after all, destiny is what you make it. You can create your own destiny. How you do this is through summoning, evoking, and working with these powers and spirits. So let us get to the seal. We want to go to page 119, where we see this beautiful thing right there. You see it? Oh, and it says, this is one type. That's what it said at the top of the page, one type of mandal of calling. I'm like, one type? How many types is there? Well, we turn to page 120. Oh my God, there is another type. Check that. Oh, they confusing me. They're making me all twisted in the head. They stressing out my pain medication. They stressing it out. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, so what you want to do is I will show you what the whole thing looks like. I will take this out of my own personal book and I will show this to you as soon as I realize where I've marked it. So what you do is you want to put the two together. 119 goes on the bottom, 120 draw it right over it. And here's what you want it to look like. I'm going to hold that there for about 10-15 seconds so you can get a good look at it. And that is how you do it. Right there. Now the squares on the outside don't have to be there. The squares with the circles represents north, south, east, west. Yes, they are the tablets of the 4 quarters. So what you want to do is you want to make a large size one of these on a piece of paper, burn it on wood, whatever you want to do. If you have the skill with metal, go for it. Knock yourself out. Make it, do it. However your skill allows you. I don't care if you have to pay somebody to do it. Do it, because you can consecrate it and all that other good stuff later. The thing is make it. Okay? The reason why is because it's going to become one of the most powerful tools you use. If you make it in 2 parts, that's fine as long as it can be overlapped. You know, like that see-through clear plastic paper, how you can draw on one, and then you can draw on another one, and you can put it on top of one another that overlays perfectly. Do that. See, that's freaking perfect, because then you can draw in every time you want to use. You can draw in each of the planetary symbols in the center that you want, so forth and so on. Okay? Now that you've got that out of the way, now that you got all the headaches of it, I wanted you to see that so that you'd see what that is. Found that nowhere else. I was showing that to Priest of the Necro about how it's used, because you have to think of it like a pyramid. 119 is like the first layer of a pyramid. 120 is the second layer of the pyramid. Now, the reason why is because what goes on the top, there's a dead square centerpiece there. Well, when you get your, amulet of and you need to charge it, or to sanctify it, charge it for its purpose, set it dead center of it. And then you want to trace with energy the outline of the whole thing. Visualize it while you're using your fingers, draw the energy, or your blade, or whatever tool you use. And see it become like your electric blue and just charge. And everything in the center pulls power from the outer to the center. Okay? Now, the reason why this is so important is because later on when you're doing, when you're working with it, like, let's say you want to evoke the gods. Because, see, one of the things that they don't go into in the necronomicon is they keep saying conjurations and evocations and all this other stuff. But if anybody knows how, they don't really tell you how to do that, or, what way. I got it. Use the tablet. Use the mandala of callings, 1 and 2. You got to place them together. That square on the very, very top. Guess what you put on there? Oh, there's 7 gates, 7 ladders. You put the planetary spirit seal there. Not the gate seal. Planetary spirit seal there. That way, when you're doing your gate walking, and you traced your gate itself out, and you fall upon it, all your focus and concentration that you've built up into placing the seal that you're going to be working on top of it, on top of the mandala of calling that you created, by combining them, it just makes it stronger, makes it more real. If you have evocation skills, you'll learn that you can easily create an atmosphere of energy by which they can form, so that they can have a body of smoke or whatever conduit you're using, whether it's a dusty, smoky filled room, or whether it's this or it's that, whatever your venue that you've given them to be able to manifest through. And speaking of every single bit of that, let me go into something that most people that are talking about necronomicon do not do. But I'm going to have to break this out because I want you to kind of understand something. Now, if any of you have any knowledge or understanding of the tree of life in Kabbalism, and no, this is not about to get into a Kabbalah discussion. This is not about to get into Hebrew mythology and all this, that, and the other. I just want to go over the drawing, the formula, the picture. because this will make sense in a minute. If you will look here, the very top sphere there is Kether. See? I've got the whole thing drawn down, okay? But that top point is Kether. Now, what's so important about this? Well, let me try to break it down in English, because I love English. What you want to do is, Kether is above your head. It's a sphere of light, somewhere around about a foot above your head. This is the divine. This is a thingy that mankind is stuck in flesh. Yes, you could jump, but you're not going to get that high because it's a spiritual plane. It's a realm all its own. Okay? It is the symbiosis of all that is spirit. And what goes in that place? Well, there's 7 gates. Well, if you'll notice, they tell you about the color, and they tell you the number and so forth and so on. Well, instead of in Kabbalah where you would be going to the different spheres on the tree, that's not what you're going to be doing. You're going to be visualizing above your head the color of the gate that you will be walking in. This is pre-ritual working. Okay? You will breathe and you will visualize a sphere, solid white, glowing above your head. You're going to take your fingers in a sword position, is what they call it. And you're going to tap into it, into the bottom. And you're going to fill it by you're touching it with the color of the planet of the gate that you're going to be walking. Bring it down, touch your forehead, touch your throat, touch your heart, touch your groin, point down between your feet. This allows the energy to come down. As you breathe in, feel the rays of that color correspondingly go down. You have a really good visualization. Visualize the gate of the planet in that sphere if you have really good visualization. If you're good at that, this is going to work awesome. This is how I managed to walk the gates without actually ritually walking the gates, but we'll get into that in another discussion. For this one, though, all we want to do is focus in on the color. And if you have the skill, the planetary gate is within that sphere. And feel it like a beam touch down through your forehead, all the way down through your spine, down to the ground beneath your feet. This charges the magician's body, the sorcerer, the priest's body, with the energy of that planet. And then you're ready to go. Sprinkle your salt, call forth the fire god, set the 4 quarters, call your watcher, start the calling, and so forth and so on. Now, I had a really interesting gate walking this past week. I did the Gate of Mars. That was really fun. Really, really fun. But the most interesting part about it was that when I got to the words of power in the calling, I began singing the words. Holy crap, what an experience. Now, I've used singing in Solomonic magic and in certain high magic and ritual magic and stuff like this. But I've never tried it with the necronomicon, but for some reason it just felt right. So when it came time for the actual power words that were in the conjuration of the gate, I went to singing them. And I went to singing them with my heart. Like I was singing words of love and adoration into a being that I had no idea, and I had no idea what I was saying. But the words are not the important thing. The feeling that accompanies the sound. And then the next thing I know, that was really, really trippy. The guardian of the gate, or the god of the gate, came quite quickly. And although armored and looking like he was about to beat somebody's head into the ground, quite pleasant to work with, quite pleasant to communicate with, to talk to, and it was really neat. So, if any of y'all have any similar experiences, please feel free to share, because I'd love to read them. I hope I haven't bored you at all with this one, which this is one of my late night videos. But I wish each of you peace and blessings and a good night. And like I said, there's a few things throughout the book. Look for them yourself. You'll find them yourself. I have a real good friend. He's working on the translation, so it's a little bit cleaner translation, so that it actually says what it's supposed to say. Because Like there's a thing that maybe the words are, some of the words in power missing, or some of this missing, or the way it was wrote wrong, or something like that, which I don't really burn too many brain cells trying to worry about that. But for those who do, um, keep at it. Teach yourself Sumerian, Assyrian, Mesopotamian, and all that other good stuff. Uh, Self-educate yourself. Reach out. Try to find others. Uh, I rely on my good friend Baron Enzu Alcazar, who I drove nuts translating stuff for me, and I do appreciate that, brother. You have no idea. You are sent by the gods. All right, y'all. Peace.